vulnerable right now. I'm about to weep.
Creative ways we ride all day. Let's go. Turn it up, don't stop. It's that culture shock, drop. New voices in your headphone now. Big visions from a scribble notepad. From the block to the boardroom, see it. JL Stone about to make you feel it.
Ideas in the air like confetti. Every story in the room, stay ready. Press play, get pulled in slow. Then the beat hit hard when you feel that glow. Oh.
This is Culture Shock Pod with JL Stone.
Where the culture talks back and the wild minds roam.
From the canvas to the screen, to the pen, to the phone.
If you're chasing that spark, you are not alone.
Culture Shock Pod with JL Stone.
What's up, family? Welcome to another great episode of Culture Shock Pod. I am excited because we've officially entered into season 2 of the Culture Shock Pod, where culture meets creativity. And I am happy to bring today's guest for this incredible, creative, and culture-shocking conversation. What started off as a quick conversation about working out in the gym has literally budded into an amazing friendship. One of my closest friends, a sounding board in my life, and one of my favorite thinkers of all time. Culture Shock, let's clap it up for my big brother, J. Will, the Will Way. Justin Williams being in the Culture Shock studio with us this morning. Come on, let's clap it up for him.
Cheer.
I'm excited to share this conversation with you because it's crazy how we got connected in the barbershop. And he said that I'm your first client.
You're my first.
I was his first client. Whole time I'm thinking this man was like, had a whole layout. So I not thinking back on it, a lot of our workouts was trial and error because Jay was treating me like I was an athlete and I was not an athlete. I almost died our first workout session. I told him this other day, I was like, man, I was about to pass out. I'm like, bro, I need some water. He was like, you going to be all right. Sit down right here.
And we worked on the neck.
And we started working on neck exercises. I'm like, this nigga going to kill me. I'm not coming back no more. And then I started, after about 2-3 sessions of us working out, we started at the college.
Yep.
And then we went to the track on the south side.
Yes, sir.
And then I started seeing transformation. And it was crazy because it started out as like a business relationship. Then we started having like real conversations.
Sure.
On the track. We started having conversations about life. And I think that it's a side of you that a lot of people don't get a chance to experience. And then it's like we see Jay Will as the entrepreneur. We see him as the businessman. I want to call you like the fitness coach. And I see that really on the outside looking in, your life is fit. Not just fit and it relates to your physical fitness, but fit as in you put together. Sure. You're not just out here any kind of way. And if you are winging it, you make winging it look good. Sure. Let's talk about business real quick. I want let everybody know because you juice and I buy my juice from him. He's one of my friends that I get my juice from. Let's talk about how you got into that wellness aspect.
Well, wellness was just first, my journey started with fitness. It wasn't wellness at first. It was fitness. I was an athlete for so long.
Yep.
Just working out. I've been working out since I was 12 years old. You know, working towards something. Mm-hmm. You know, so I played football, and the goal was to go as far as I could with it, and that was the pinnacle, the NFL. You know, that didn't happen like that, but still got a lot of nuggets from just what the game taught. The discipline the game instilled, the not doing the work when you don't feel like it, you know. So that pretty much took me into that realm, and here as I started to begin, like finishing college, graduating college, and getting into manhood, walking into manhood, intent and knowledge just got to be more intense. So as I was working out, after I didn't even have to work out no more, you know, because I always liked to, I felt like that gave you an edge. I always like superheroes and shit like that. So, like, working out always made me feel super, you know, not to like I'm superior to nobody else, because shit, we can all do the same thing. It's just
Right.
how I'm choosing to spend my time.
Yep.
It's a benefit for it. So I started thinking about, okay, I could see all the muscles, you know what I'm saying? I could see this. What about the things I can't see internally?
Mm.
So somebody had got me a juice from like Kill Me Crazy one time. And man, when I taste the juice, I was like, damn, this what I'm missing out on? Like, in this nutrients, it got vitamins and minerals in it,
Oh
energy.
wow.
So I was like, it's no juices around, it's no cold pressed juices where I'm at. You know, they
Mm-hmm.
brought this juice from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's no cold pressed juices where I'm at. How can I tap into this? I bought a juicer. So when I bought a juicer, you know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make juice, but I'm like, man, I need to make this money back for getting this juicer too. I was like, it's other people that, you know, it's other people that if I like it, I like to think, you know,
Yeah.
I like to think, you know, I got good taste. You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying? I like what I
Absolutely.
like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, other people would like to experience this as well. And I just went to making cold pressed juice, man, and that's just really how I started, bro, on the
Mm-hmm.
juice end. You know what I mean? So when I started doing that, I'm like, okay, how can I pair this up with what else it is that I'm doing? I really don't have a title. You know what I'm saying? I really don't have a title per se. My shit really raw and authentic.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm the lab rat.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
You do the experiments.
I'm doing the experiments in this, and I know it worked. You know what I mean? So it's like how I attracted you. You seen what I was doing. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like, we got to work.
Yeah.
When you pay me for something, bro, I'm gonna produce.
Absolutely.
I've been a performer for so long. Like, that's one of my strong points, performing.
I remember that I used to piss you off because we set a time like 8:30, 7:30, and you'd be like, bruh, 7:30 is not 7:45. You can't be coming in here. Let's go. We ain't even got time to talk. Let's go. Let's go. And I'd be like sleepy, tired, drained. I'm like, God, I just went to sleep. You ain't want to hear none of that. But I needed that accountability though. I needed that push.
For sure.
So me, somebody that is okay with being lazy, needed to be connected to somebody that had that intensity,
For sure.
that on purpose intensity, that was willing to be like, nah, you can't do this. And one of the times we was working out, we was on the prowler. I don't know if you remember
Yeah.
this. And I was dead dog tired. I mean, the workout had whooped my butt that day. And you was like, I need you to act like your daughter on the other end of that. Like your daughter needs saving because you got to push through this. And it's in moments where I'm literally like, I don't feel like recording. I don't feel like taping. I don't feel like going live. I don't feel like going to the gym. I hear you in the back of my head saying, your daughter on the other end of this. You got to push through that.
Sure.
You got to. So I needed that
It's the moments like that that you just said that's fulfilling.
for sure.
You know,
Absolutely.
it's not about, it's things that's invaluable. It's not about the money. It's not about, you know, the results. It's about when you just told me that just then, bro, that's fulfilling, because that's something you can take and instill and keep pushing that forward. Somebody, coaches done that to me.
Mhm.
My dad, my family, they've done that to me. You know, so, and that's part of life. Stress is a part of life. Stress is a part of life. You know what I mean? And
For
when you
sure.
control that type of, have that type of mentality, it's amazing how you can start using things to your benefit.
Mm.
When you work out, you're stressing your muscles.
Mm-hmm.
When we sit in that sauna,
Mm-hmm.
we're putting our body through stress. That controlled chaos, though, being able to introduce that and dose that by control, you use that to your benefit to become more resilient,
Mm.
become stronger.
First time you said, the first time we was in the sauna, you talked about that controlled chaos. I'm like, this nigga really smart.
Man, I've been a free thinker, I've been a free thinker for a minute. You know, it's some things we talked about off camera, like,
Yeah,
you know, just I was reading the Bible at 12 years old,
yeah,
like in the by myself.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just I've always been attracted to knowledge.
What's up, family? Today's episode is brought to you by my friends at All Things Create. Shout out to Shakrisha Trice and her amazing team for making sure that all of our graphics, our marketing, and our media is always top tier and A1 when it comes down to social media. If you would like to have your business promoted and be a sponsor of Culture Shop Pod, please make sure you reach out to us and send us an email at jlstoneministries at gmail.com. I can't wait to connect with you. I can't wait to partner with you. And we can't wait to promote what it is that you got going on so that the world can see that you are indeed shocking the culture. We'll see you soon. And so I was talking about how things we lose the essence through translation.
For sure.
And so you as a I'm going back to you as a free thinker, it was easy for me to understand where he was coming from because we've had conversations
Yes, sir.
and I know where you stand.
Yes, sir.
And to segue into what I wanted to introduce us to, you recently did a video about how you found salvation through fitness, through working out. What does that journey look like? What is salvation to you? Let me start by saying that.
Man, salvation to me is feeling fulfilled. You know, starting to get into your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it's deep.
It
It's
is.
not superficial, and it's still something that you have to stay attuned and be able to receive the messages.
Absolutely.
When I think about just how to connect salvation, I found salvation because I began to align and connect. And it's my way of doing things, and then it's another way that's greater than me. And I'm starting to understand when you start to follow certain things, I'm starting to understand the greater than me. You know, being disciplined, being devoted, why you should refrain from heavy consumption, heavy indulgence, why these things could be bad, why these things could deter you. It's some forces, it's other forces out here too, man. It's just not the Holy Spirit, it's other forces too
For sure.
that don't come with a mask. They got a mask on too. They're not coming with the horns out, and you know
Yeah.
it's not coming with deceit, and it's covert. And if you not, this a universal law. Your ignorance will not shield you from from consequences. Your ignorance will not shield you from consequences.
That's good.
So I try my best, man, to be intentional with my habits and my energy, because everything is energy and frequencies. Everything is energy and frequency.
We talked about even like the human makeup and how it is symbolic to like the energy of the heavens, the stars, and being made from the same thing that's that gas
Yes, sir.
and all of that. And when we die, that energy doesn't die away. Energy doesn't go away. It still exists.
For sure.
As a human, as a black man, how can we maximize with the life that we have, considering if it feels like, according to a quote from Scandal, black people got to work twice as hard just to be half as good. How as a black man, how do you maximize with your energy?
Man, listen. A man, period.
Mm-hmm.
I do understand when we say black man and melanated, and I understand all that. I'm freeing my mind so much. I ain't categorizing myself into black man, white man. I'm a man, period. How can a man maximize? It's different ways. There's more than one way to the top of a mountain. I know for me, how I maximize, how I try to maximize, it's a connection. If I'm looking at it like a triangle or something, okay? So we got this like the life force. I got my body, people, and then my consciousness. So my body, I'm strong on the body end. You know what I'm saying? Like physically, I could see my discipline and devotion. I'm strong on that end. I could do better with connecting with people. I'm not a hard person to connect with. Me and you connect, but sometimes people have, sometimes people will place you somewhere based off the things that they see. Like, so for instance, social media, people see a snippet of your day, you know what I mean? And that's all they see of you. 365 days, they never have any genuine interactions with you. So that comes with perception, and people start to perceive certain things. So sometimes people could, have preconceived notions about you that make them a little standoffish towards you.
Right.
But people is a part of connecting to that life force as well, and your consciousness. Okay, so we have two two natures, lower nature, higher nature. How can you maximize? We have to shift from a primitive standpoint and start getting into that higher consciousness. And that's where I feel like that's where a life is in abundance. And I think that's where we're more created in the image of the Alpha and Omega, not just, a big man sitting on a throne.
Facts. Right.
You know what I mean? I think it's more of what we can't see about how I look internally. How if we was to break down this flesh, you know what I mean? Script this flesh away, you, and my man over there, we're all gonna look the same. You understand what I'm saying? The density, bone structure might be different, but exoskeleton wise, you're gonna have a brain, I'm gonna have a brain. You're gonna have skeletons when your skeleton, your exoskeleton, my skeleton, a spleen, and all the other, it's gonna look the same. You understand what I'm saying? So how you maximize, man, you just gotta get aligned. And you do that through the knowledge. And being able to, I'm thankful for college as well, because I'm able to extract and separate what's factual and what's not factual.
For sure.
And then you can follow and, go down the rabbit hole on different things to support or disprove certain things. You know what I mean? Like through research, detailed research, not just opinion and gossip and all that. Like I don't, to each his own, but
Right.
I don't want to get into being led by somebody's gossip, and clickbait type of deals. Like that could be misleading.
Yeah. While you was talking, I thought about this. Do you think, and we've had this conversation before, I think we had it over what was it, Super Bowl, whatever that was I had at the house when all y'all came over. Do you think, since we're taking black, white, color out of it, you think there's an attack on manhood today?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's an attack on masculinity.
Why you say that?
Man, because
why you say that? Do you think?
And I took a deep breath on that.
I see.
I think it's an attack on masculinity based off just how society and our demographic is, what I'm around. So to be a masculine man is, to protect, provide, pastor. I got that from you, that pastor part. And so what's the opposite of that? Like protecting. Some people would say that's control. Because how to protect something, we got to have some type of structure or something to be able to protect something.
For sure.
So to be intentional is to be controlling. Or we have this thing in our society now to where I see this so much, like, and I know men can be influenced, but I see this so much. I have to submit to God, the Alpha and Omega, and I don't have to do that. I choose to do that.
You have to make a choice.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But now it's been put to even our women as well. So choosing to submit after you vet somebody and decide this is your person you want to be with or whatever, choosing to submit seems like slavery or disempowerment. But sexuality, being sexual and being like shaking your ass on camera, which to each his own, not just saying that, but shaking your ass on camera, damn near wearing lingerie out in public is empowering now. Like, and I'm not here to each his own. We got one life to live. God gave us free will, man. You do whatever you want to do.
It gotta be said, because I was watching a reel the other day, and then Shawty was getting dressed, and I mean she had her man in the camera, and it was like, the whole get ready with me or be with me my day type stuff, and she had the tank top on and her booty shorts and her booty all out. And I'm like, as a man, I get, okay, it's cute, it's attractive as an outsider. But then I thought about it. I'm like, is anything sacred anymore? Like if my girl, which I know my girl will never do nothing like that, but if my girl, content aside, Instagram and TikTok checks aside, like, is anything sacred anymore? And then you'll turn around and say, oh, I want a man that's gonna provide.
Mm-hmm.
I want a man that's gonna respect me. Just because I post stuff like this don't mean I'm easy. Don't sexualize me. And it's like, but are you not posting this to be considered sexy?
For sure.
So when you said that, it just made me think, like, not only is it an attack on masculinity, it's a, we want to control how men control.
For sure.
And I think that's scary.
For sure. I agree. And that's why I feel like it's an attack on masculinity, because when it's trying to say, society is trying to say a masculine man, it's like a negative stigma being attached to that now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm disciplined and devoted, right?
Mm-hmm.
My display of discipline and devotion is not a attack on your undiscipline.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not an attack on your undiscipline, but environments we place ourselves in influence our actions, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you plant a plant in rich soil, it's not gonna grow the same as some placed in something that is not as nutrient as the soil isn't as
That's absolutely true.
nutritionally dense.
Absolutely.
So when I'm saying that, it's like you have to get with your person too. You know what I mean? So a masculine, if you gonna be masculine man, don't mean we got energies. I have energies. I got testosterone and estrogen too.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make sure my hormones in balance.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm thinking, even like with the masculinity, with it being a play on men being masculine, it's a shift in society that got our women being masculine, and it's like the men need to be more feminine.
Be in touch with your emotions.
Which you should be.
You should.
But I say this is a proverb for me, right? A man being in his feelings, he can't make the right decisions, because you can't make decisions in your feelings. But it's equally at the same clip, they're the same. A woman being in her ego and pride, man, that's a sad sight to see too, because a woman in her ego and pride can't be vulnerable. A man in his feelings can't lead, and a woman that's in her ego and pride can't be vulnerable.
Say that to the camera. Say that.
A man that's in his feelings can't lead, and a woman that's in her pride and ego can't be vulnerable.
Because there's power in vulnerability.
Yes, for sure.
I teach particularly women that follow me, whether they're young or old, that want to be married. When you talk about being submissive, it's not subservience.
Yes, sir.
It's actually power.
Yes, sir.
If I know my woman honors what I say, and she really, really values how I cover, protect, and provide for the family. If she comes to me and say, honey, I want to do X, Y, and Z, or I didn't appreciate how this happened, it's not going to attack my ego, because I know you actually value what I'm doing for our family, and because I see that you are submitted, and submission is not like a yes man.
No.
It's a level of vulnerability and trust that when I make a decision, you ain't going toe to toe with me.
For sure.
Well, you didn't ask me about that. Well, you want me to lead or not?
Mm-hmm.
You want me to, you want me to provide or not? So, and in my provision, one thing that I've learned as well, don't attack how I choose to provide. So if I'm going to spend time with you, I'm going to spend time with you. But that takes away from me being a provider. So when we in the trenches and we ain't got no money, or we can't do X, Y, and Z, remember, you wanted to cuddle up.
Yeah.
You wanted to be caked up. And then when I'm grinding or I'm providing, don't complain about me not being present and me not listening and me not being vulnerable. Because we at the end of the day, we men's men. I don't know, maybe you're not the type of man that I am or used to be. But if Shawty come and say, "Oh, my man ain't doing X, Y, and Z," I'm just that type of guy that's like, "Oh, your man ain't doing such and such." Oh, okay. Well, me, I listen to you.
Yeah,
I talk to you. On the other side of that coin is, oh, my man not listening because my man not working. He focused. He locked in,
yeah,
and providing is the priority, not comforting my pride, a woman's pride and ego.
for sure.
And I think with our culture and our society, it's like we've exalted the ego of the woman to suppress the provision of a man. And as a consequence, a lot of brothers are exhausted.
Man, I agree. I agree. It could be it's a lot of layers and factors that go into that too. You know,
For sure.
when we look into it. So I be a little finicky on the talk because there people will put it like you grouping you putting the men against the women, and
Yeah.
that's not what we're doing. You have to be like real clear when you're talking to us, so people gonna jump to conclusions. Period. But you don't want your words to be misconstrued.
Right.
So like listening, being in touch, being a great communicator is a thing too. Being a listener, a good listener is a thing. I've noticed through my through my experience, everybody can work on communicating their how they really feel, man and women.
Yeah.
Women
can.
really, from my experience, aren't just great at expressing themselves when you start really listening and trying to get into what it is you're trying to tell me. One thing I don't like the I'm being very intentional now with like looking at signs like how good do you communicate? What's your emotional intelligence? And we don't have to agree on everything, but we can have a conversation. And we can we can have conflict come in, but how do we resolve the conflict?
What's the resolution? What's the
What's the
resolve?
resolution? Like I've seen something where it's like, okay, we had dinner set up and you got upset. Is dinner still on? Like, you want me to guess? I don't want to live my life guessing. Like I cringe when I hear, oh, you just should have known.
Oh
Type
yeah.
of
Yeah, that
no, because that gives you a out on
yeah,
everything. If I
nah.
got to guess, what about when I guess you're gonna say, oh, I didn't ask for that.
Yeah, no.
I didn't
Exactly.
tell you to do that. So
Nah.
now I'm just guessing, and you still got a way out of everything. I like clarity.
That so two things you said. I'm the type of person, and Evie sent me this the other day. If we got dinner plans at 6 and we get into an argument at 2 o'clock, I feel like the whole day canceled. I don't want to be bothered. And she be like, one disagreement, don't cancel out the plans for the day. Like the plans that she'll always say, because I'll be like, why are you still gonna do such and such? She'll be like, the plan ain't changed. I just don't agree with you
Yeah.
right now. Like, get out my face,
For
leave me
sure.
alone. Or she'll do something that'll piss me off, and I'll be like, okay, well, are we still doing such and such? She was like, you the one mad. The plans ain't changed. And I'm the type of person I've literally had to learn a disagreement does not mean disconnection.
Yes, sir.
That's been a very, very hard lesson for me because I have separation anxiety and I'm so used to my disagreements resulting in disconnect. It's like if I disagree with you, it has to be a fallout. And it's got to take time for reconciliation versus there being a disagreement. And I don't know, I guess I built it as a protective measure for myself to protect, what do people say, protect my peace? But really, it's just to protect my ego. I like going through the transitions I've gone through. I'm not afraid to admit that I'm fragile in some spaces.
For sure.
So in my personal spaces, particularly my interpersonal relationships, when there's a disruption, I'm like, oh, this is a sign of disconnect. Red flag, red flag. You got to go. I got to go. There's got to be some separation. And I've had to learn to be healed from that.
Yes, sir.
Like you gotta be divorced from that mindset because that was a big pattern there, even in my marriage. Like we get into a disagreement, it was quick to say, "Oh, we shouldn't have done this. You need to leave." And she would pack up, and her mama lived around the corner at the time, so she would pack up and go to her mama's house. And it was like, I almost cussed. And it's like, dang, like you really left. So in my mind, disagreement meant disconnect.
Mhm.
Everything has changed, and I had to get over that. But when it comes down to figuring that space out, it ain't even easy.
No, it's not an easy thing, but anything, anything worth having, you got to work towards it.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And it takes two people too. So regardless of whatever, however you've been enlightened and what you learn, if your partner is not like on that, is not still gonna be as fluent and flow as good.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I do know about just the opposite sexes, man, woman, a woman gonna challenge you. I mean, like,
As she should, right?
a woman is gonna, it's just how it's how it is. Like when I say challenge, but it's a tussle and play type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I read this in a book too. For real. Don't try to like I find myself doing this and it when I get the knowledge, I'm being able to, apply it to my past experiences.
For sure.
And then you start to see over different relationships
Mm-hmm.
where, okay, this was constant. And then what's the definition of insanity?
Mm-hmm.
Doing the same
Over
thing,
and over
expecting
again.
different results. Trying to logic that woman. You feel me? Trying to really, it makes sense now, but they a feminine vessel too. Like you trying to put so much logic on it, thinking she gonna get it, or you trying to put so much logic on it, saying like, well, let me get this out the way so I don't never have to deal with this no more.
Mm.
It ain't, it ain't gonna work like that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be knowing when to put love in. And the book was the superior man.
Mm-hmm.
And when you grab the book, the superior man, you thinking like, okay, strong, you feel me? Then you start getting into the contents of the book, and to be superior, if you don't dissolve your ego, have you feeling like this should have been titled the inferior man. You got to dissolve that ego. You know what I mean? Because that's that sense of self that'll make you feel like, and I ain't dissolved my ego fully.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I won't dissolve it all the way. Cause Jay-Z, sometimes you need your ego. Got to remind these fools who they effing with, but we got effings too. Sometimes you got to have that because the world isn't just sunshine and rainbows. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? And it is a thing with too much empathy. If I'm empathizing too much, now I'm getting out of my core.
Mm.
So it's like trying to find that balance. And balance don't mean you're doing everything perfectly.
Correct.
Balance is just knowing when to push forward and when to reset.
That controlled chaos.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So even with that working out, people be like, "What you training for?" I know I'm kind of jumping. They like, "What you training for?" Life,
Mm.
life. I'm uncomfortable being uncomfortable.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Life. I could sit down in a heated conversation because I sit down in the heat for real. 20
Mm.
minutes, 190 degrees.
For
I
sure.
could sit down and talk to somebody that don't agree with me necessarily and still be respectful
Mm-hmm.
and try to find a breakthrough. Even when the sun, like even when it's an overcast and we don't see the sun, bro, the sun's still in the sky. You just can't see it because of the clouds. It's still in the sky though.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always some positive to be extracted from even some turmoil. Chaos, I said chaos like a ladder, bro. You know what I mean? Chaos is a ladder. People hear conflict and they think it got to be bad. We got to be disrespectful. No, we can be civil. We can be civil, and even if it do spin off on some, you say some things. That's human nature.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. It's inevitable to not feel the pull of emotion.
Absolutely.
It's inevitable. But I don't want to be making decisions off of that. You feel me? I don't want that to guide my actions. I don't want that to guide. I want my thought and my heart to guide my actions.
Mm.
It's something called mindfulness and it's something called heartfulness too. And like just me personally, yeah, I've been strong on the body end. I've been strong on the mindful end. And this what I say when I'm saying like salvation,
Mm-hmm.
all these things is wrapped up and interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
Heartfulness is a thing too. I had to start looking at myself like, Justin, you got a heavy heart. That ain't good. You know what I'm saying? That ain't good. You feel mistreated by, you feeling resentment and mistreated by some past events. And you got a heavy heart. You got to get that stuff off your heart. You understand what I'm saying? You got to get that stuff off your heart because that affects your life force. Being angry affects your life force.
Absolutely.
Feeling resentment affects your life force. And it's like, well, hey, how you can get over that? You got to talk to these. Some people don't want to find the resolve with you.
They don't.
That's where therapy can come into place. And I haven't did therapy, but I'm seriously thinking about it. But I know good, genuine relationships is therapy too.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to express and talk how we're doing in this space right now is therapeutic as well. Because hell, at the end of the day, a lot of people we just want to be heard and
That's it.
understood.
Absolutely.
And I tell people all the time, like, hey, to understand me doesn't mean you agree with me. That just means you understand. That's empathy.
Mm-hmm. It's comprehension.
You understand
It's
what I'm
basic
saying? You don't
comprehension.
have to agree with me still, but
Mhm.
if you can understand, you could still when you can empathize, it just helps.
Yeah.
It just helps the situation in totality.
One of the things I always say in my disagreements is we don't have a comprehension issue. I just don't agree. And we don't have to agree for me to understand. I'm educated. I got a master's degree. I don't have a problem. What I don't understand, I don't mind saying, okay, I'm not getting it. And then I get to the point now where I just tell people it don't have to make sense to me. As long as it makes sense to
As long
you.
as it makes sense to you.
If it makes sense to you, it ain't gotta make sense to
Right.
me. And when the complexities of relief, I believe relief can be complex because people vacillate between therapy, friendship, connections, partnerships, relationships. But I was in therapy and then it got too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled out of therapy. But like you said, it's therapeutic. If I hit you up, you hit me up, you be like, hey, let's go downtown and grab a glass of wine.
Yes, sir.
And we sit down and we have this, because what we doing on camera is our all the time conversation.
Yes, sir.
And we had these conversations, and I'm like, all right, I can go back home and conquer the day. I can do what I need to do. I can go and say, all right, I'm gonna go to the gym in the morning and execute the way that I need to. And I'm going, one thing you always used to say, you gotta fight fatigue.
Yes, sir.
Fight fatigue. And that has been my mantra, not just when working out, but like I'm tired of pastoring. I had to fight fatigue for a year and a half before I resigned.
Mm-hmm.
Got tired of arguing in a relationship. I had to fight fatigue and realize these are growing pains. Not everything is a sign to break up.
Yes, sir.
I had to fight fatigue with co-parenting. Like I'm going back and forth with you every week, and it's sickening because this is not the pattern that I want my daughter to see for her dad from somebody who's never had fatherhood modeled for them. So I got to build the model and be it at the same
Yes, sir.
time. I had to fight fatigue. It's exhausting, but moments like this, I get my therapy and I can fight fatigue.
Yes, sir.
I could go and I could show up the next day.
Yes, sir.
Because I talked to my brother who I think you had started being a dad shortly after me.
Yeah.
So talking to you, getting your perspective on fatherhood, and then going back into my personal life and saying there's some nuggets I can take from him because you are more disciplined than me. I feel like you got a better temperament than me in some cases.
Hey, you see, I pause.
Yeah, in
Hey,
some
I pause.
cases.
I
It's-
pause. I could take it's likewise though, you know. I could take a lot from you, and that's what I like about genuine relationships.
Mm.
And that's why I like surrounding myself around free thinking men. We don't have to agree on everything. You don't have to be like me because you got strengths that I don't have, and I have strengths you don't have. And that's why I always say iron sharpens iron as one person sharpens another,
Absolutely.
dog. Like if you bring your gifts and I bring my gifts, I'll be able to pick up on some of your gifts. You'll be able to pick up on some of my gifts.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, and that's how that's how iron sharpens iron, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And as men, we need that because this is facts, especially in the western over here in the western part of the world. How a man feel isn't gonna be received like that when you're speaking to your counterpart, how you really feel. Because when you're feeling expressing your feelings, it could make somebody else feel like, oh, I've done wrong. That's all they're hearing. I did something wrong. He's coming down on me. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm actually just expressing that to you. But you know who will understand? Another man
Mm-hmm.
that's going through that.
Mm-hmm.
You know understand what I'm saying? And like you just said, you can now you're recharged. Now you can endure some more.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because now you're being heard and you understand, okay, hey, I need to be in tune with my feelings. And vulnerability is a thing, it is powerful. But at the same time, vulnerability to open up means you can be hurt too. You understand what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
You can be hurt too. So you have to have that level of vulnerability to know when not to be vulnerable, when to, let me water this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me water it. You understand what I'm saying? So and then let me come back with my men group.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take things under advisement. Let me take these decisions under advisement. Let me talk to my dog about how I feel. Let me get a second opinion on that. Well, let me relieve some of this pressure by just getting it out.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, everything is energy and frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe this, man. If you keep things bottled in, it's only a matter of time before it explode out.
Absolutely.
And now you got an outburst. You understand what I'm saying? And now it's happened to me. Like, and that's one thing I don't want to do. I don't want to sit up here like I'm a perfect person because I'm not. I'm a human.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna make mistakes, but one thing about me, I'm gonna look myself in the mirror and I'm gonna critique myself. Justin, you didn't have to react like how you reacted
Mm.
with that situation. You could have did X, Y, Z. That's why I like bringing it back to football. Used to watch film when you practice, and everybody that done played ball know what I'm saying. You watch film, practice. You can see when you mess up.
Mm-hmm.
It get to the point where you get so in tune with it. You get so in tune with it. You might be in a game. This is a real deal situation. You might be in a game and you messed up, and you know, like, dang, I'm gonna see that on film. I know I messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that in life. I take them little nuggets and I apply that to my life to try to be more optimal, for things to flow, to get into flow. I want my life to flow. You feel me? That don't mean I'm not gonna have claws that that I have to unclog.
Yeah.
You understand? But I want my life to be in flow.
Yeah.
I want my life to be in with attraction.
Yeah.
I don't want my life to be chasing things that society's saying I need to be doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to judge my life off somebody else's life. Like, I'm not looking up to no celebrities. I'm a star too.
Absolutely.
You're a star too.
Iconic.
And metaphorically and literally. You got some of the same things that the stars, some of the same genetic materials the stars have is in us.
In your body.
So that's empowering to me. You know what I mean? And that can be empowering to people too. And man, when I say I'm my biggest critic, like I'm gonna look myself in the mirror and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna take accountability. Justin, you was wrong. We move forward. You get another opportunity. Let's try to handle it a different way.
I saw a post the other day that said, give yourself some grace. This is everybody's first chance at being a human.
Man,
This is everybody's first chance at being a human, being alive. I want to ask you this before we wrap up. What's one thing you feel like men, since we're not talking about melanated men exclusively,
That was for me, but I do understand. I
Yeah.
do understand when what we're talking about. When we saying melanated men, black men. I do understand that. I just try to free my mind. I hear it all the time.
We do. We hear it so much.
And let me just insert this real fast. We come from over here, man. With our culture, we've been fed the slavery part so much, so much, so much, so much, so much, so much. And in the grand scheme of everything, I need everybody to know, man, all life come from Africa, dog.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? So we come from builders, thinkers, not even, and it's royalty too, but you come from builders, thinkers, all type of scientists. You feel me? We come from we got that in our DNA too. But if we're only fed the slavery part, you start, that's what get water heavy. Slavery. You don't want to read. You don't want to do XYZ. You don't want to eat more health conscious. You understand what I'm saying? Because you only been fueled with slavery all the time. You learn it in elementary school. You learn it all through. Then you start getting all through high school. Everybody don't go to college. You start going to college. More of that start to break, not just the slavery, more of the greatness of other things past that start to break through. That's empowering to know, oh no, Egypt was called Kemet, the black land. You know what I'm saying? Because it was so rich. This was a high civilization. Mansa Musa was a black man that inherited this Mali empire that took 2,000
in the world.
That took 2,000 ships and sailed in the western part of the world.
Absolutely.
So, when we say black man, like I do understand, I just wanted to put that out there.
And I'm glad you specified that because I knew what you meant
For sure.
But for the people that's watching, we don't want to, folks get he want to take away from the black experience.
Right.
We're trying to enhance your black experience.
Yes, sir.
What's one thing you feel like black men don't hear enough?
I love you. I see you trying. I feel like melanated men, we don't hear that enough. Because sometimes when you're masculine like that and you're the person that's trying to lead, trying to protect, trying to provide, to who's involved with you, they only see that. So it's like when you make a mistake or something, it's like, oh, you did. Now this the time to, you get what I'm saying? This the time to point that out.
Yeah.
Oh, you made mistakes. Never said I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like men don't hear, I love you enough. For real. So I make it my business, like even when I talk to my homeboys, I ain't gonna tell them I love them every time we get off the phone.
Yeah.
But like I'll be like, love, bro. You know what I'm saying? All love, brother. I love you, bro. Sometimes when I ain't talk to my dog in a minute, I'll be like, bro, I love you, bro. I want you to know, bro, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to be that change we want to see too.
Absolutely.
See, we get into society things, man. Like, man, society things like men. Think about the reverse of everything, right? A man express himself, oh, you sassy. Dang, what you mean? I'm sassy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or a man smoking hookah. Oh, you shouldn't be smoking. Do you know that's who was smoking hookah first? Men?
Until y'all took it over.
You know what I'm saying? People don't know what origins come from. Men wearing before wigs, when wearing wigs. Men wore wigs.
Men
first.
wore bell bottoms. Men wore
A messenger bag, a purse.
Yeah.
A man had a messenger bag first, cause for real.
Lawyers and doctors wore messenger bags in the 80s, in the 70s.
Coco Chanel, everybody liked the Chanel potions and the Chanel bags and all that. Coco Chanel, her name was Gabrielle. Her real name was Gabrielle. I'm not gonna say what the last name because I don't remember, but it was Gabrielle. She took the stage name of Coco, and she was a courtier, And that's another word for prostitute, for real. Just was at esteem, just on a higher esteem at a chateau. She influenced women's fashion, and it was influenced by men clothing. You understand what I'm saying? She broke the mold for like women's fashion and everything, but it was influenced by men's clothing. Cause it got away from the traditional corsets and all the tight, restricted clothes and gave women more freedom to move around. And she rode horses and she didn't sit side saddled on the horse. Women used to ride the horse side saddle. She got on the horse like a man. People don't, you know what I'm saying? People wouldn't know that. But all I'm saying is how society go to telling us, oh, you're sassy, you would, but everything, a lot of things with how we doing originate from men using that first. So when a man talk to you and express himself, don't hit him with, oh, you sassy. You see a man smoking hookah, don't hit him with, you sassy. Like, dang, the origin come from men really doing this anyway.
What can I do?
You know, facts. So I like when we were saying what men don't hear enough, man, they don't hear I love you. I see you trying. You know what I'm saying? People just want to see your efforts. When you was a little kid in school, you need to be watered. Positive, they call it positive reinforcement. And just because we grown, bro, we still need positive reinforcement.
Absolutely.
We still need positive reinforcement. Somebody that's trying their best need positive reinforcement. Somebody that's in the gym that don't know what they doing, they need positive reinforcement to keep going. Everybody like that. These are human nature type of laws, bro. You know what I'm saying? We need positive reinforcement. So that man needs positive reinforcement. That woman needs positive reinforcement. Humans, we need positive reinforcement. Extend some grace.
Let's clap it up for my boy Jay Will for being on the Culture Shock Pod this morning, man. I think we had a phenomenal conversation. And listen, if you are not subscribed, I want you to hit that subscribe button right now. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can follow my boy on his social media links that's posted right here at the bottom of the screen. Connect with him. And if you're anywhere in the Valdosta, South Georgia region, man, I really don't care where you're from. You need to drive or have him put it on ice and buy them cold pressed juices, man. I'm telling you, it's the next best thing to chocolate cake. All right, man, we getting out of here. We'll see you next time on Culture Shock Pod.
Vulnerable right now about the weed.
Creative ways we ride all day. Let's go. Turn it up, don't stop. It's that culture shock drop. New voices in your headphone now. Big visions from a scribble notepad. From the block to the boardroom, see it. JM Stone about to make you feel it.
Ideas in the air like confetti. Every story in the room, stay ready. Press play, get pulled in slow. Then the beat hit hard when you feel that glow. Oh.
This is Culture Shock Pod with JL Stone.
Where the culture talks back.